What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one, I want to talk about something very big that just happened in the USA that could affect how NIO and the market moves. So I'm going to break down what this catalyst is and how things are looking so far and what this means for NIO moving forward. But before I break anything down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. This offer ends in just about 5 days from now, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the markets. Guys, something very suspicious is going on with the markets. Okay, we had this crazy run on SPY, and this was very weird. Okay, we had bad news from Jerome Powell. The 30-year auction was high. We had bearish catalysts, and yet the market pumped like crazy. The market pumped and pumped and pumped like crazy all day. SPY reached 441. Tesla pumped too. And then all of a sudden, the market closed. We had a very nice, strong close. And a few minutes, I would say less than an hour after the market closed, some big news came out. Moody has cut the US outlook to negative, citing that higher interest rates and deficits are likely. And this is actually some pretty huge news. The ratings agency affirmed that the long-term issuer and senior unsecured ratings of the U.S. It used to be the AAA rating, which got, we got the downgrade. Remember earlier during the year, and now they're saying that the U.S. should retain exceptional economic growth. They're positive about that, but they also mentioned that there could be surprises coming out. They basically moved to cut its outlook, arriving as we're starting to see, the threat of government shutdown and things like this going on. And on top of this, they're talking about something else that's important in the context of higher interest rates without effective fiscal policy measures to reduce government spending. They said that they expect the U.S.'s fiscal deficits to remain very large, and this is weakening the debt affordability. That's big news. They're downgrading their outlook on the U.S.'s performances and the U.S.'s government to negative from stable before, and this is reducing the U.S.'s fiscal strength. This is huge news. Okay, this is going to affect investments coming to the U.S., how the U.S. is viewed, and etc. It's going to have a very psychological effect on how secure our debt allocation is going to be in the future. So, for those who are trying to take risks by investing in the US, this is not the type of news you want to see, and this tends to be negative for the markets. So what else is weird is when SPY pumped, we came very close to this trend line. Let me just show you this trend line. We have this trend line right here, right? This trend line on SPY, we closed just under it. We came very close. It looks like they were trying to get it up there. I have a question, and that is, did institutions know this news was going to come out? They intentionally took the news out earlier and they wanted retail to just turn bullish. Could they have tried to pump the markets for Friday to basically squeeze shorts, since we had 1 million puts expiring on SPY? And then simultaneously, they wanted retail to turn bullish to start selling to them while they start selling up top. And the market's about to gap down for Monday and start cooling off. Is that what's about to happen? Could they have just suppressed this news and waited right after the market closed when retail are not going to be trading to release it? Who knows? But I'm going to be very careful. I don't know what this is going to cause. It might cause some downside. The market's already starting to drop in the after hours. So this is big news. Moody has very, very big and very important credit ratings for the US. And with this outlook shift, as we're getting closer to this fear about the government shutdown again, who knows what's about to happen. But here's my view about how this may end up going. For SPY, we need to try to break 442. If we break 442, the market's going to push higher, and we could see SPY approach 444. But if we reject because of this news, and I think that there's a high probability of that happening, maybe we get like a pop and drop or we just reject and start cooling off a bit, SPY could make its way back down to the 438 level, if not even the mid 430s, and the news could turn more negative. And there's a risk of this because of this news right here. It just came out after the market opened. After the market closed. So very suspicious timing, very, very suspicious and very interesting. So how may this affect the markets? If this news causes a rejection, we could see SPY return to 436 or below that. And I think the odds favor this thing coming down now. We also have a triple bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. If we get a big rejection, this thing starts downtrending. If we lose this like 438 level, this divergence, we get confirmation. This could start leading to some selling. Same thing on Tesla. If the news causes downside, we could see Tesla reduce and come down towards like 212, if not 210. If we're bullish on Apple, we could see 188 to 190 then rejection, or if it could reject from here off this bearish divergence and come back down to 182. I think the odds do favor it coming down after this news, but just to be safe, we'll have to wait and see. For the QQQ, we have tight resistance at 380. We're gonna see if we get excuse me. We're gonna see if we get one more pop and drop, or if we just drop from here. If we reject here, 375 is on the table, as that news is very suspicious. For Nvda, we had this tight resistance at 485. If we break that, you're going to be watching 488 to 490. But just be careful. We have a bearish divergence on Nvidia. If we reject here, it could be because of this news. So you just want to be very careful. And finally, I think I went over the majority of them. What does this mean for NIO? For NIO, we could drop a little bit more. Now we could see NIO try to return, maybe tag 7.5 to 7.43 to 7.5, which is the previous support becoming resistance, reject, and then start tanking towards 7. I think that NIO is going to base at 7. We're going to see some sideways price action at 7, a nice accumulation around there, then a nice bounce as time goes on. So it still looks a little bearish. There's no sign of it bouncing yet. Might pop towards 7.4 then reject, and we're going to be watching this thing in the 7s just to see how it looks. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for NIO, at least for the time being. A little bit more downside before it bounces. It at least tries to trade sideways at $7 and bounce. There's a bullish divergence developing on the daily chart, so it could drop a little bit more before we start to see buyers stepping in. So we'll be waiting to see this as time goes on. As far as NIO's earnings goes, there's nothing confirmed just yet. I was even looking at the earnings calendar. We're not seeing anything confirmed yet. It may not be until the 21st. So we may have to wait until like the week after next week until NIO's earnings. So it's going to take some time. But for now, please be cautious, guys. I mean, this news is pretty big. It just came out. This could be very suspicious. So I want everyone to just be very careful. We'll see if you reject or not. And just be open-minded to anything. There's a lot of trickery in this markets. There's a lot of manipulation. And the best thing we can do is just remain very calm, cool, and collected. And this is going to be very important for the US's credit ratings, for other countries in the world investing in the US. It's going to be very important. So with that said, I thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day and peace out.